welcome to the Music Lens Podcast with me, Alex Allegra.
And Katie Fee.
Get that out of the way with, but if you're, again, we're filming so out of order because we're about to do a content shoot down at the beach, which you guys probably won't even know that we did or see until...
Maybe stuff on stories.
Long after.
But not like results.
Because I have to edit a lot of stuff, I'm sure.
We'll see. I don't know. It depends how we go about some of the stuff.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. It'll be exciting. We're going down to the beach. I love a beach. I'm very excited. It's the one of 2 vacations I'm actually going on this year, and I haven't gone on a real vacation for at least a year, if not almost 2 at this point. So yeah. I'm excited. That'd be a vacation that wasn't because I guess that was a real vacation. I guess the last one I went on was like to Oregon, but that was also for a wedding. So, but like we made it a real vacation. So, I was gonna say one that wasn't a wedding because then it would have just been that. But anyway,
I haven't been to the beach since Tom and Amanda's wedding. So
I haven't been to the beach since I went to Gulf Shores last year, but that was for work. So I was by myself. So we're going back to the same place I was at for work this year, though. And I had so much fun there by myself that I was like,
the closest.
I was going to go by myself anyways if we had Hangout Festival this year, but Hangout got canceled this year just in general.
Cause it wasn't canceled. It was just not a plan for this year.
And so I was sad about that, but we're going to the same area, so it'll be fun. I know exactly where I'm gonna say we should go. Gonna get some real seafood because Katie's never had like genuine seafood, and I'm very excited to say.
Well, we had a crab cake in New Orleans.
A crab cake is not the same as like getting a crab and cracking it open.
I'm scared.
No, it's so fun. It's so
texture-wise, so if it's gonna be an issue for me.
No. I don't trust a lot of seafood here in Tennessee because everything has to travel so far away to get here. But like, oh no, I love some seafood because I'm from up north where like the ocean is right there and like you go to the beach. It's like a 3-hour trip. Like,
yeah,
this is an 8-hour trip.
7.
Okay, well,
it'll be a little less than New Orleans was.
Yeah. Our whole job will be be like influencer.
This is gonna be this is out after we have come back, so we are manifesting good weather. Right now, there's 50% chance of like thunderstorms on Saturday, but it's high as 75 all 3 days.
Really cute house, so no matter what, we can be at the house.
Yes,
and like film.
And we're gonna go with it.
So yes, we came back from the beach. Content week went good.
Manifestation. Good weather, warm enough to be comfortable.
Yeah.
On the beach.
What else has probably happened? We talked about new music last week.
New music. Ella Langley. Among others.
Olivia Rodrigo. Some Just Jane. Anyways, do you have anything else?
I want to know what's going on because Alex won't tell me what the topic is.
I'm so excited. So, I had this idea. I don't know. I was just like thinking one day and I was like, you know what? This would be just like a fun. I feel like I have to have a big disclaimer on the screen. Like, disclaimer, this came from my brain. This has no scientific reasoning. This is just something that formulated in my brain that would be a fun, goofy time. I was talking about it with Brayden on our walk this morning, and I was like, does that sound interesting? And he was like, yeah, it sounds interesting. I was like, okay, good. Like, outsiders are like, okay, interesting. Again, disclaimer, this has no scientific proof. This is like the random PowerPoints that your friends present to you when you're drunk. Like, this is kind of that energy, okay?
PowerPoint night.
It's PowerPoint day with Alex. It is fun. This is just for fun. Okay? So I don't want any of the comments to be like, you stupid bitch. Like, no, this is fun.
You still haven't said what it is.
I know. But before we get into it, have you watched the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary? I know we talked about it when it first came out. I still haven't watched it, but...
Yes. And then I guess in our new music from last week, have... the song from it.
Oh, because it's with Lainey.
Yeah.
So, yes. It has... So, like, yes, with all these, like, I was like... feel like we're in such a bringing back younger things right now for good and for bad. I think her version of it was smart because it was very fan driven and was like, I'm gonna do this, and then obviously with the response, then Disney was like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. Because I think
you hear the advice that she took from Dolly that got it? Yeah, she just pretended like it was happening, and then they were like, well, we can't turn it down now.
But that was smarter than to be like hocus pocus and all this stuff where it's like it was not necessary. I think we also just have to like learn to like live with like, I don't know why our generation, millennials and like Gen Zs are like very much like so nostalgic, but it's like a curse of nostalgia of like, how about we take that nostalgia and create something new instead of like just trying to like recreate something and it's not living up to our expectations then. Which kind of then brought up about this topic. I was just thinking, I was like, so I present to you why Disney Channel made me think it was so easy to be a pop star.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
So, I was just thinking, I was like, you know what? I feel like our generation too, a lot more, maybe, I feel like there was a lot more people that had some hand in wanting to be musical or just famous in general. And granted, some of that was like the rise of YouTube, and now like there are kids that are like going into elementary school and saying, I want to be a YouTuber when I grow up, and like that is a job profession right now. But we were growing up in the age where all this stuff was very much like a thing, and like Disney was creating like teen pop stars, and so we all thought that to be somebody was to be a teen pop star, but you can also have a normal life because that was also important, and that it wasn't going to affect you and fuck you up in any way. And then we got to college, and then we were like, the music industry is so different than anything that anyone prepared us for. It doesn't work like this. It's a whole bunch of mumbly jumbly mess, and no one knows what the fuck's going on, but then everyone wants to tell you exactly what you have to be. It's a lot. So I present to you, Disney Channel thought it would be so easy to be a pop star. So... Okay. And I have resources.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Dun da da da. Alex presents. Hold on, I have to get. So, we take you back. This is gonna go in order, not by importance, but by release dates. So
chronologically,
we're going chronologically. So if you think, oh, but you didn't, just give it a second. Just give it a second. Okay, ready. So. We go to the golden age of Disney Channel. It is before Hannah Montana and all that stuff. The rise of 2000s Disney was about to happen. And the first thing we have, honorable mention, if you will, Xenon Girl of the 21st Century, right? Because Protozoa, like, was just, like, cool, you know? The start of Disney movie music, right? Okay. That was just an honorable mention. We're not even there yet. Okay, ready? I really thought hard about this. Okay. Then, gotta find it. Hold on. 2003, the Cheetah Girls. You have everyday girls living in New York?
I think so.
I think they were in New York. And they were high schoolers. They were living their lives. And then they had this talent show, which was hosted by... Wasn't it like Whitney Houston or something like that?
I don't know. It's been a while.
Anyways, Cheetah Girls. Every average day people winning a talent contest to then become superstars. Like, that was the progression. Is they just had to win this talent contest, and then they would become superstars and get to travel the world and be all these things, you know?
And they get to go to Spain and India. And,
yeah.
Right? Is India
That was the third one.
Yeah,
that was the third one.
Barcelona is number 2.
Oh, yes. They are from Manhattan. Yes. The girls hope to become the first freshmen to win the talent show in their school's history. So we're starting off young. Freshmen.
Freaking children.
Yeah. And I was in middle school, like, yeah. Then we go to Stuck in the Suburbs, where I thought that one day, because this did happen, one fan of Harry Styles had, like, he crashed and, like, found himself to be at this house, and like they helped him out. So I thought that one day some pop star was just going to be in town doing things in the suburbs that I lived in, and I was just going to get to meet them and fall in love with them, you know? Okay. Because that's what happens in Stuck at the Suburbs. This guy just like, I'm done being famous, is on a video shoot in the middle of, I don't even know where were they in Stuck at the Suburbs. Hold on, give me a second. And this was 2004. Which, if you haven't seen Stuck in the Suburbs, superb movie.
It's been a while. I don't remember.
They don't tell me exactly. Oh, they don't tell me exactly where they are from. But yes, he just comes and then she gets to meet him. Like, okay, so now everyday people can just meet celebrities. So in my mind, you know, like that's how life is going to happen. It's just going to happen like that. Then you go to 2006, High School Musical, right? Mm-hmm. Nobodies that are not even in the musical realm, the underdogs, which also Disney said that if you are an underdog, you are bound to make it in life. Mm-hmm. I was an underdog. I was bound to make it in life. I was bullied as shit. I was gonna make it. You could be the star of the basketball team, never sung a note in your life, and you get put into the musical for the auditions, and you beat the people who worked their whole damn lives to be at the top, Miss Sharpay. Okay. You know? And then little mousy Gabrielle, who, again, no clue why she was even there in the first place. Like, who knows why? The most talented of all of them was the piano play. Kelsey, was that her name? Piano playing miss. And she got no credit. So, yeah, no, you wanted to be the little awkward, weird wannabe because everybody else doesn't get anything. And then you'd get everything that you wanted, you know? Okay. So, High School Musical. Does this all make sense so far?
Yes.
Yeah, it does. It does, right? Exactly. Then you get to some of these we can skip. Like High School Musical 2 has nothing to do with that, right? 2008. Camp Rock. I went to Camp Rock, of sorts. I went to Interlochen for songwriting camp, right? Which was basically a Camp Rock of sorts. Because also fun fact, only, oh gosh, what was her name? The girl that we talked about that has the Alice song that I was like, oh, I went to camp with her. Anyways, I haven't heard from any of those people except for the one girl that I actually like got to know and really liked. And actually there was a girl there that reminded me of Sammy. Come to think of it, she just has the same similar vibes and looks and all this stuff. But then also the only person that actually like was famous out of there was Ava because she's Reese Witherspoon's daughter. Which, fun fact, I shared a cabin with her. But of course, she already has. What they don't tell you is that the connections and the money is what breeds talent. Nothing against her, just a general life observation. Yeah, you gotta have money or connections or both. Yeah. And then in that same year, Cheetah Girls One World came out. So Cheetah Girls, they have won the talent show and everything, and now they're traveling the world. Mm-hmm. So we get all of this stuff that just happens to you, right?
Just happens.
2010, Starstruck. Underestimated movie, I will say. Starstruck. Random ordinary girl goes to California, instantly falls in love with because I was like, I'm just going to show up into a room one day and these boys are going to fall head over heels. Again, this is all for fun because I'm not this delusional. I promise you this. But like, were we not all this delusional? This was what Disney Channel was teaching us to be delusional with.
Ow.
Sorry. Starstruck. Random girl goes to California for a weekend. The main pop star of the year, I forget what his name was, but it's Sterling Knight, falls in love with her, goes back to her hometown and saves her at prom too, and says, I love you, you know? So I was like, obviously, like just meant to be, you know? Then 2011, you get Lemonade Mouth. Again, kids from nothing can form a boy band, a girl group, and become hits. Have hit songs. Everybody in the school now wants to sing along to their rap song. Their nice little final jam moments, you know? No one ever did that for us. We were not that cool. No one ever wanted to sing along at the talent shows, so, you know. Yeah. Then, 2012, you get Radio Rebel. The start of then everybody wanted to have a podcast for the first time. But this was like before podcasts were podcasts. So you had these sketchy ass little websites that my mom could have sworn, I can't say that, was like somebody bad was going to stalk me down and hunt me down if I put my voice out there onto the radio. Okay. My friend, who was interesting, was like, you should start a podcast. And then people were like, oh my God, I can be a famous podcaster. But again, before podcasts were podcasts, so you were kind of just putting it out into the ether and hoping somebody was going to catch your radio show. But girl becomes radio DJ. That doesn't happen. That is not how the DJing world of radio works. You can ask Aaron Cooper. Then, where are we now? Then we start to get a little out of my age range. So, do I know all of these now? No.
You had a younger brother, so.
That's why I was also still in.
So I feel like Starstruck was probably where I dropped off.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the DCOM movies that you get, you know? Then you go to Disney Channel shows, right?
Okay, yes.
No.
Also, is another Cinderella story to Disney? Selena Gomez? So I feel like that falls in there too, because
which is why it wasn't included.
I feel like that falls in there too, because she's like this dancer, and then like the Drew Seeley dude comes in high school, and then she gets to be in his videos or however that works.
I really thought that me just putting myself out there and being a superstar was just going to come to me somehow, right? Kind of did that for Sabrina Carpenter. Fun fact is that she lived in the same hometown that I am from. Like literally the same town, but like the town over. So like I didn't really know her. Like she wasn't like a known person, but she left at like 13 because she got to be in this thing with Miley Cyrus. It's like one of those things like
she was supposed to be the she wasn't available, but she was supposed to be in the anniversary, and I think they just got Chapel because she was available.
Which I wish I would have known about, because I was 13 at the same time she was and didn't know about this thing. But I think I really missed my shot with being as famous as I could be, because I didn't get an agent when I should have gotten an agent. Like, I had agent offers in middle school, but I was coaxed out of it by some people. And did not get one. And I should have gotten one, because maybe I would have been famous. And I had friends that had agents, and they were like doing commercials and stuff. Could have been in stuff. And maybe then I would have found out about Hannah Montana contest thing to be in Miley Cyrus's label or whatever it was for. Yeah. And got to go out to California. And maybe I would be Sabrina Carpenter right now. You know, we don't know. Anyways, can't live in the past, right? Then you have Hannah Montana from 2006 to 2011. And all it takes is a wig change for this girl to not look like herself. And I legitimately thought I was going to have everything I ever wanted, because I could be normal right now, but I could still also be a pop star, because they're two separate lives. And that was, I didn't, you know, I wanted to protect my anonymity. Anonymity. So, yes, fun fact.
Yeah,
I know.
Nemo.
So I was like, all I have to do is that, and I can be a pop star. And of course, we all know Hannah Montana was what started the teen pop star stuff, along with the Taylor Swift of sorts. But, like, really, Hannah Montana was, like, normal, average. And she's singing to me that I am that 1 in a million. Because you say it's a 1 in a million chance, but I get Hannah Montana singing to me that I am that 1 in a million. So, and I was putting on concerts in my basements to all of these soundtracks. I was, like, ready to go, you know? But I was a shy little kid, so. Next, you have... These ones are kind of out of order. Austin and Ally, 2011 to 2016. He was just a normal kid living in Miami, but he was also a pop star because he started writing songs with Ally, and all of a sudden, now he's a hit person because he got, you know, it's not that easy to get your songs played on the radio. Like, it's harder than it seems, you know? Fun fact for you. Sunny with a Chance from 2009 to 2011.
What?
29. Sunny with a Chance. Again, little Midwestern girl, puts some covers on YouTube, gets pulled out into the big city of LA, and now she's on a TV show. Now, granted, some people did put out videos onto the internet and then they'd get signed by labels. But I also know a lot of people, some of it worked. Some of them like Bieber and stuff. Not all of them did, though. And it kind of fucked them up because now you're seeing a lot of repercussions about how these young stars did not have good coping skills with life. But some of them I know, like Bailey Bryan, had that happen to her. And then her label shelved her. Like, but she was tied to a contract and stuff. And then people want to take over your life, which again, it says that Disney was promoting that this was easy and fun and you could just be whoever you wanted to be, but the music industry crushes you. Fun fact.
I feel like we could connect to Nickelodeon a bit too, though.
This is about Disney Channel.
Okay, well, iCarly, Victorious both kind of have similar messages.
2010 to 2013, you have Shake It Up. 2 dancers living in Chicago get to be on a dance program. It's like Hairspray.
But modern.
But modern and, like, relatable. And again, just normal kids. I really thought I was going to be going to high school and also just be famous. Like, that is not how... No, you move out to a big city. You get tutored. Like, you can't do both. And they really told me I could. And then college also told me that you couldn't. But guess what? You can. But it's just different. It's just very different. Liv and Maddie, 2013 to 2017. You have Dove. Well, they're both Dove. You have Liv, who was a famous star, and then she gets to go back home to Wisconsin, but still be just as famous. Like, that fame doesn't... That's not what happens. If you leave the spotlight, you leave the spotlight, and unless you have a need to come back up... People don't, like, just let you back in. It takes a long while to get back up again sometimes. Ask Kaylee Shore. Then you move over to Radio Disney. Who remembers Radio Disney? I remember Radio Disney. I called in one time and got through, but I was too scared to talk, so I hung up. Fun fact. So, Radio Disney then taught me that there was these next big thing contests. So I was like, I need a band. But again, I was too young, too, because I was only, like, 10, and you had to be at least, like, 13 or something like that, so I was still too young. And it was, like, the whole American Idol thing, which, when I was finally, like, that age, it didn't do anything. And at that point, when I was also, like, around 18, I had already started building my own little, like, community and fan base, and I was like, I don't want to lose that. And the contracts that they make you sign, fun fact, I don't know if I should not be allowed to say, you can't release music and do your own thing unless, like, separate of the entity. So, like, they own anything that you do within that time. So it's, like, it can get a little tricky in the weeds of, like, ownership and stuff. And I didn't really want to lose that because I was about to, like, I didn't want to, like, lose having my own songs and everything. So I didn't want to do all, like, the X Factors and all of that stuff. I was also starting to get, like, it was starting to go back down in, like, popularity, and I, like, didn't feel like it was going to be, like, this life-changing event like it used to be because people weren't really watching those types of shows and stuff anymore. Anyways, next big thing, because I also followed bands from this show, like, once it was done, which didn't last very long, and now you see people, like, there was one girl that I see all over my TikTok now, and she's trying to, like, make it because Disney Channel didn't really, like, give her any tools, like, post doing that. Like, they gave them, like, little tours and stuff, but, like, none of them really, like, got big. Like, Coco Jones is maybe, like, the biggest one out of all of that, and that was separate of, like, the Disney Channel era, and, like, she, like, fell off for years, and then she kind of came back up around, but, like, I knew so many, like, bands and stuff that, like, I followed years after, and they could never break out of these, like, small clubs to the point where, like, they just disbanded and, like, couldn't do it anymore. So it's, like, that was, like, cool and everything, and I really wanted to be on Next Big Thing, and it just seemed so easy to, like, be on Radio Disney, and, like, that's what I was just gonna do. So, I presented you why Disney Channel thought it would be so easy to make it in the music industry. It's not.
Yeah.
Some people get very lucky and it just happens, and then in half of it is just keep working. And I've been seeing a lot of things lately that it's like, it's not even hard work and talent and all of this stuff. It is about, like, your nervous system, and, like, it just breaks, and, like, the music industry is just, like, and especially now, which I've said so many times, it's really in, like, a weird limbo situation. Like, they don't know what's going on because it's, like, the normal ways of, like, TikTok even took over YouTube for a small amount, but like now even that's not doing anything the way it was anymore. And so it's tough right now to like know what is going to be like that point to get you to a bigger audience and to do things. And it's really hard for acts that should be able to do these tours and stuff to make money. Like I think of Molly Grace, who's an insanely talented artist and has had success, but it's like convincing venues that like you have people that will come to a venue to listen, even if other artists of similar stature are doing it around there. If you have the numbers, you have the Spotify, you have all these things, it's really tough for venues to take chances on anybody right now. And I think it's all because we're going through such hard times financially in this world right now.
I think venues are like, especially like independent venues are struggling too. So it's like they don't want to take a risk on people because they want to make sure they can guarantee that people are going to come to the shows so they can make the money they need to make to stay open too.
And it's so unfortunate that we're just losing such a big part of live music right now. And I think half of that is that like we have a lot of overconsumption with it, but then also it's just like, again, we go back to things like the promoters and like people just aren't caring as much as like they used to. And it's just unfortunate right now. So like, don't let live music die. Don't listen to AI stuff. Listen to real people. Try to find new people. Support seriously means like following them on Spotify. Like it is that easy anymore. And it is tough but it is fun. So I say this with a lot of like joking fun of like, yes, these were the expectations. And yes, I grew up in a very Delulu mind of like, I was just, things were going to come to me. And that is not how the industry works. And I'm very well aware of that. And I mean, I worked my ass off all through high school. Every weekend I had shows. Like the last 3 years of my high school, I didn't really have any friends because I did that on purpose, because every free time I had, I was playing shows. I was in a band. I had my own shows. I was in the studio releasing music. Like I purposefully did that because that's where I thought I was going to be, and that I was just going to get into college and it was going to be like 10 times easier. And it turned out to be 10 times harder to get people to notice me because everybody was vying for that one professor's like attention, and like I have the best songs and I have the best music, and it's so subjective. And it's like, don't devalue yourself just because the one person that you thought was going to be like your saving grace didn't like your music. Like somebody is listening and somebody is out there caring. And so just keep going and have little fun Delulu moments of like, I think I also brought this up because it was like, I just used to love doing like concerts in my basement and stuff like that. And I think about just like having that level of just like fun and energy put back into my music and stuff, of like being a little kid and not caring and being that delusional about life. I think sometimes I need that back in my life. So that is also part of why I brought this topic. And I was very excited. And I didn't think we would do it this soon. I like brought this up to Katie a couple weeks ago and was like, I have something if we are ever stuck for an idea. And it just worked that like, because we're trying to like fit things into scheduling wise, I was just like, do you want to just do it now? And she was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So yeah, it's a little bit of a shorter episode. Sorry about that. I really thought it was going to go on a little longer than it did. But I guess we also just didn't have a lot to talk about at the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't have too much chit chat going on for like opening talks. So yeah. What's your favorite Disney movie or Disney show that you grew up with, and do you relate to this? Do you feel like it made you?
There were so many that I was like, I feel like a lot more people like were very interested growing up in like the arts in some form. Like it was just like there was just this sense of like really, I don't know, it just felt like everybody wanted to like play being famous and being all these things. So it was just like, even if they had no talent, like it was like they just, I just felt like Disney like gave us all hope that like
Big Time Rush too. I was thinking of other Nickelodeon ones.
Also had
Big Time Rush also was another one.
Yeah, Midwestern boys auditioned for this producer and all of a sudden bam.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how people go about things anymore. Like, people did used to just, like, go coast to coast finding acts because the internet wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
And I think we look at things of, like, from the 80s and, like, you know, there was always, like, oh, if you just, like, work really hard and do it, like, you can get somewhere. But, again, like, the stepping stones are just so different nowadays that it's just, like, there is no pipeline anymore to, like, and it really is who you know and how much money you can put into things, especially now, because, I mean, a lot of things, like, you can just definitely see there is still a lot of organic content, not generic, but organic content that is getting, like, viral at times. Like, that is not, like, impossible, but it's just, like, I definitely wonder how much, like, TikTok will say, like, you can get 10,000 views if you pay $10, and, like, that looks really enticing, and it's like, how much is of people just doing that kind of stuff just to get it, because I just, like, algorithmically, like, how many, like, you don't really have a control on what is, and I know it's supposed to be all scientific-y, but it's like, how much of it is actually just, like, you really just caught the wrong, like, people because, like, they looked at one video one time and they actually weren't interested in that, and that's who you're sending it out to. Like,
yeah. I've even seen things too now of, like, the ads for the ads of TikTok of being, like, saying, like, how people are worried that if they spend money on an ad, then their organic content's not going to work. And it's like, you're going to have to spend money in order to keep getting views, basically. Which I've heard is a thing, but now they're making ads saying it's not a thing. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe you, though. So I've yet to actually spend any money on TikTok. So, yeah. If you have any thoughts on any of this, you can send it to us at themusiclenspodcast@gmail.com or drop a comment on our socials and follow us there at The Music Lens Podcast. You can follow Alex at Alexa Laker Music and myself at Katie Fee Music, and we will see you next time. Bye.